All right, welcome back into Yellowhammer Radio. Cliff Sims, Scott Beeson, Big Jeffrey Myers in here for Friday edition of the program. You like it that I call you Big Jeffrey Myers, don't you?
It's my favorite thing of the entire week. I look forward to you coming in.
I knew it. I just dominated another round of Friday Face-Off, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Scott, you tried hard this week, though, bud.
I did better. I was so close.
You were. I felt right there at the end.
He needs to stop saying, I agree with Cliff. That really hurts
That
him.
hurts me?
Yeah.
You know, they say never do that during debates.
Yeah, if we were running against each other for some office, I would put out an ad that was nothing but Scott saying, I agree with Cliff.
Yeah, because I did learn that the honesty of that gets you no points. It doesn't matter. You cannot say the other person was right.
So, as we like to do on Friday, let's throw a little curveball at folks. Quit, JP. Why are you shaking your head already?
I'm not. I'm just watching TV.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't gonna go full like American hero. I wasn't gonna go all the way there. But now that you're shaking your head,
Maddie's not here.
Oh, that's right. If Matt was here, I would.
Yes.
We got JP, former Navy SEAL. Now, he's a killer of Decepticons. JP is going to be in the upcoming.
I'm buying that Decepticons are real.
It's not Conspiracy Theory Thursday.
Oh, crap.
Stop.
All right, sorry.
He's going to be in the upcoming Transformers movie. He's been gallivanting all over the world killing Decepticons. What in the world? Like, how did that happen?
Actually, it was the last time I was down here working with Landon and Extreme Concepts, and I got a call from one of my buddies. Actually, I got a call from one of my buddies back in May, and it was just like, hey, what's your schedule like? Are you free for the summer? I'm like, well, kind of. It depends on for what. And he said Michael Bay's looking for some younger-looking team guys for the new Transformers movie. Send in some pictures, and we'll just go from there. So, sent it in. Didn't heard stuff back and forth like, hey, maybe this, maybe that. And then I was down here, and we were actually down at iCanine, down at the office down there. And I got a phone call, and they're like, hey, can you be on a plane tomorrow? Going to Detroit for, Michael Bay wants you in the movie. And I was like, well, I need to call Amanda, and I need to talk to Landon. I can't just up and leave. So both of them were super cool. Said, hey, it's a great opportunity. Just go, have fun. And so I just went up there just to be an extra to basically relive my old glory days. I got to play a Navy SEAL. So, and then was also doing some tactical and military advising for the movie as well. So
Gotcha.
it was really cool. Michael Bay is brilliant. You hear that a lot, and that's an understatement. I mean, I just don't know how the guy's mind works.
So he was on set with you guys, like he's super engaged in everything.
24/7. Like, he knows every person's job on that movie and knows how to do it better than them. And like, he was talking to us one day, and somebody's walking by with a guest, and he looks over and goes, who are you? Like, he knew that somebody didn't belong on the set. And there's like hundreds of people. Yeah. It's just crazy. The guy's just brilliant. And it was a good opportunity just to work with all these different actors and actresses, and just really see how hard they work and what they put into it, but also everything that goes into making these huge movies. And my big thing that I love was just the military and tactic advising on it, just kind of seeing what they're doing and saying, hey, we wouldn't wear this gear, or hey, the gear should be set up this way. And all the guys were doing it. That's what we were there, is to be extras, that they knew they didn't have to say, hey, this is how you hold a gun, because we were actually like, hey, we would never use this stuff. Yeah. Or, hey, can you get us this? Or, my buddy Kevin Kemp, he's been on, I think, the first 4 Transformers. He's on 13 Hours. He's the one that called me, and, he's been doing a lot of the advising, and you really see the difference of these movies when you have actual operators. The real deal. Not guys that teach firearms who've never been in a gunfight. Like, guys that have legitimately been in huge firefights, and they're like, yeah, no, we would never do that. And there's a couple times where we'd be like, yeah, this isn't realistic. And, Michael Bay, he's awesome. He's so funny. He's like, yeah, but at the same time, you're fighting dragons and Decepticons right now. So, like, you kind of have to take it for what it is.
Fair,
and I'm like,
well said.
That's fair. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess since we're in the future fighting dragons and Decepticons, and I'm jumping off of a planet back to Earth, I guess I can take that into consideration. So it was, man, it was crazy.
Now, Mark Wahlberg was on the last Transformers, and he's going to be in the next one as well?
Yeah, he's awesome. Super laid back, very devoted to his work and what he does. he's got his crew of guys that are there with him. They're all super cool. They're very devoted to it as well and what he does. I mean, he's just a quiet, reserved guy. He works hard, he does his thing, and then he's done. And, doesn't go out to eat with the guys or out for drinks because, he's married and has 4 kids and very devoted to them.
No, is his family there as well? He brings them with him?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He just kind of keeps everything separate.
So have you met any actors, and I'm not going to get you to name any names, but like that you were like, that guy's a jerk or that gal's a jerk?
No, this is the first movie I've been a part of.
And everybody was pretty cool in it, huh?
Dude, everybody was awesome. Like Josh Duhamel, he's one of the guys, man. He'd always go out dinner with us, have a few drinks, with FaceTiming his wife Fergie and the kid, and was like, "Hey, meet my friends."
Wait a second, Fergie?
Yeah,
he's married to Fergie.
Dude, they've been together for like 13 or 14 years.
That's from the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah,
I had no idea,
yeah.
Dude. I was in L.A. one time, and I was at this little award show kind of thing back when I was working in the music industry, and Fergie walked by. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like it.
I know.
Like it was.
Well, he's FaceTiming her. He's like, "Hey, say hi to my friends," and she's like, "Hey, I'm Fergie." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know you are." Yeah, like, nice to meet you.
Like when she said in that one song that she's been up in the gym working on her fitness.
It's true.
Like
it's
that
legit.
fact. Okay, I fact checked it and it is correct.
Yeah. And dude, and Josh is like, he's a master at his craft. He's very dedicated to everything he does. There's another actor that'll be in this movie. His name is Santiago, and he was in a few episodes of Dexter, and he was in the Three Musketeers HBO series, I think. And Santiago and Josh were waking up extra early every morning to meet us at the gym and do circuit workouts that we put together. So it was cool. Good
That's
experience.
Awesome.
Super cool dudes.
So when you're pretending to kill a Decepticon, I mean, and it's a giant, you're like, I'm just thinking through how you are a technical advisor on a movie like that, where it's, as you said, it's not the same as doing like super realistic stuff where you're storming houses and whatever, you're killing giant robots. Like,
well, the concepts or shooting and moving doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to shoot and move in an effective manner. You're just, instead of killing savages overseas, it's Decepticons.
Yeah.
Just instead of shooting at head level, it's 16 feet high in the air.
Right. Okay.
So,
do they give you a false target to pretend?
They
that?
do.
Okay.
Or sometimes they're like, it's like I said, Michael Bay's mind, brilliant, and he'd be like, all right, you guys need to be shooting over at that cloud, and then when I say
like
this, then it goes over here, and hey, on when you hear me counting out loud, number 5, Optimus Prime is right here. You need to roll out of the way, and you're like, okay, like you're just trying to remember all that. Like
But he's got all that in his head. He can see it before you put it together.
Yeah, so you're trying to shoot at a cloud, and then shift fire over here, and then roll out of the way so Optimus Prime doesn't kill
Stomp on
me
you.
on TV or the movie. And Michael's funny. He's like, hey, if you don't do this, unfortunately, your kids are going to see you die on TV. by Optimus Prime.
We're going to have him step
Yeah,
on
he's
you.
like, I will CGI you dying. I'm like, oh, dang it. But it was,
That's pretty
it's
good.
different. But, I mean, shooting and moving, it's the same.
Talking to JP, former Navy SEAL, friend of the program. It's his second appearance on Yellowhammer Radio, so we didn't scare him off with the first one.
No.
Let me ask you about this presidential race that we're in the middle of right now. What do you make of it? Just like as a veteran, and you're watching everything Hillary Clinton's got going on, all the shenanigans. You're watching the stuff Donald Trump says. I mean, what do you make of the whole race?
I just wonder what happened. Like where have we? What's changed with our country? Like I mean, Hillary. Come on, I gotta watch what I say so I don't end up committing suicide. But she's worthless. I mean, there's a reason why there's T-shirts out that say Hillary Clinton killed my friends. I mean, there's a reason for that. You just don't make that up.
See, I love that because we can't say that, but like your former Navy SEAL can say whatever they want. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, if I commit suicide next week, we know why.
Dude, we will know.
So.
Dude, I will be there. Like, we will figure it out. All right. We will avenge your death, my friend. If you survived Optimus Prime, but you can't survive Hillary Clinton, God.
Hillary will claim, her campaign will claim Optimus did it.
Exactly. I know. Go watch 13 Hours. Just check that movie out.
Is that as you talk to your friends, former team guys, current team guys. That what happened in that in Benghazi is that how does that affect you guys emotionally as you think back to just the politics surrounding that?
I mean, it hits hard, you know? It's just like, dude, there's no reason for that to happen to these guys, you know? And I'm not a big political guy. I don't try to dive into the middle and, you know, just because, like, I don't see the big picture on a lot of things. And I understand that, you know? Like, I know my role. I know my level of intelligence on things. So I try not to speak into things I don't know about. But, like, talking to guys that, you know, were very in-depth and know a lot about it and, you know, helped with the movie. And, I mean, you know, Ty and Glenn were good dudes, you know, and the Ambassador was as well. Like, there's no reason for that to have happened to those guys. And, you know, seeing what Michael Bay and the rest of the guys did with the movie to help try to bring some stuff to light, it was cool.
Oh, so even you're talking about in 13 hours.
Yeah,
in the
13 hours.
mark.
You can read between the lines when you watch that movie and know exactly what's going on.
Right.
So.
All right, we're talking to JP. Let's take a quick break here. We'll come back with more with him in just a minute.
This is Yellowhammer Radio.
Oh, welcome back into Yellowhammer Radio.
Good stuff.
God, I just wish we could, you know, if you could only hear what happens in the breaks. Of course, we can only hit the dump button twice, Jeff. The language is anyway. Let me ask you about another, I guess, current event out there right now. This Colin Kaepernick stuff, where the guy just wants to sit down during the national anthem.
Well, you know, he's had a really rough life recently, so I could see. Dude, come on, bro. Get out of here. Like, the dude is, like, that subject kind of tears at me because, you know what? Freedom of speech. You know? Yeah. Does he have the right to do that? Absolutely. But should he? No. You know, if this country is good enough to live in, then it should be good enough to respect the flag, respect our national anthem, and it should be good enough to fight for. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But go travel across the world and go look at these other countries and see what it's like. You know, like, dude, you're making millions of dollars and you're going to now all of a sudden want to take a stand because people are being oppressed. Like, what have you done to help that? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't care about the guy. I think he's worthless as a person now because of that. But does he have the freedom to do that? Yeah, absolutely. And that's what makes this country great is some overpaid, whiny little football player can complain about, you know, people being oppressed, yet do nothing about it to help change the situation. And he has the freedom to do that. I mean, I don't get it. But, I mean, hey.
Is that, you know, as you talk to your friends, is that kind of the reaction? Like when people disrespect the flag in that way, you guys take it as an affront to your service?
Yeah, I've escorted bodies of my buddies home with the flag draped over their casket, and then you're going to disrespect it?
And my guess is those caskets, when you're looking at that flag draped casket, you can't tell if those people are white, black, Asian, Hispanic.
Yeah.
They're all the same. They died for America.
Yeah, it's all the same, you know, and you're just, I don't know. Like, I don't understand people like that. I mean, and what's even more disrespectful is, like, what does that say to his parents that raised him, that adopted him, right? Like, he was adopted.
Yeah, by white parents.
Raised by, so I guess, they really oppressed him, right? He had a horrible life becoming an NFL quarterback. It must suck.
Well, we got 9/11 coming up here, the anniversary of 9/11 in a couple of days. You were telling me before we got started, you were just a couple of weeks into boot camp when 9/11 happened.
6 days into boot camp. I went in September 5th, 2001, and I was in boot camp. And I went into the Navy with a contract to go to BUD/S to be a SEAL. That's all I, wanted to do. We talked about that before. And, and then, 9/11 happened. And, like, obviously I was very upset. I was very angry that that had happened, but I knew I had made the right decision because all I wanted to do was get overseas and go fight the fight over there, because I didn't want it to happen again here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to be proactive against evil.
What's going through your head just a few days into boot camp? You see that happen, and you know that it goes from being like, I've got this idea of I want to serve my country, and I know that I want to go do that, to, oh, I'm going. Like, there's no way I'm not going at this point.
Like I knew, like I said, I knew I had made the right decision, and I was like, all right, cool. This is exactly what I want to do. This is why. And I was just trying to figure out how I could get over there quicker. Like, I was trying to change, like, 'cause at the time you had a regular job in the Navy that you had to go to before you went to Buds. And I was trying to, while I was in boot camp, change it to a shorter school so I could get to Buds faster so I could get overseas quicker. And they're like, oh, no, you have to do this. And it was just like, you know, I'm going to be training for the next, you know, however long before I can actually go fight. But it was, you know, it was a horrible feeling, you know. And then also because you're isolated. So we're in boot camp. You don't have cell phones. You don't have internet. You don't have anything. Like,
So how did you find out it happened?
they came in and told us.
Oh, okay.
No, there's no TVs. There's nothing. Like, you know, they came in like, hey, our nation's being attacked. And we're like wait, what? Like, this has never happened, you know, like, as far as, you know, I've been alive, like, what? And so, you know, and then they actually brought us into like larger open hallways and had it on TV where you could actually see it happening, and guys were just like, I mean, it was weird, you know. There's, you know, guys like myself that were just fired up and like, dude, let's do this. And then it was also weird seeing I say grown men because I was only 18, guys in their late 20s, early 30s, like crying, like, I didn't sign up for this stuff. I didn't sign up for this. I'm like, what?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking,
no,
like,
I just want my college money. I just want my free college.
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, okay, all right.
But that's not in Buds though. We're talking
this
Navy
is
boot
like
camp.
Fleet Navy boot camp.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, you're going out to a ship. Shut up.
Because I'd have to imagine
You're
in
gonna be
Buds,
okay.
everybody's like,
Oh, everyone
here
in
we
Buds
go.
is like fired up. Now there was a couple guys, I guess, in SQT when it happened. They're like, "Yep, nope, I'm done." Like a couple weeks away from graduating and going to a SEAL team, and we're like, "Nah, it's not what I wanted to do." And they're like, "Dude, you came through Buds to be a SEAL," and you know, and hey, I actually respect that because they're like, "Hey, this isn't what I want to do. Like, I don't want to go to war. Cool, get out." Because I don't want you going over there with us and getting me killed or someone else killed. So they just, you know, it wasn't what they wanted to do. They just wanted to, like, hey, I just want to run on the beach and work out and tell chicks I'm a SEAL. I don't know. Right. Well, I was going through the mind. I just want to go to war and shoot people.
Be a war, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Well, you've got a company now called Never Settle.
Yep, Never
Tell
Settle.
me about that. What's that all about?
So I started that in December. Was kind of with the idea. Started it in January, and the whole concept was, I just missed being in the teams where you're surrounded by, you know, guys that they didn't settle for anything in life. Like, they're always constantly trying to improve themselves, whether it's on the shooting range, in the gym, you know, with their gear, guns, you know, intellectually, just always striving to be better, always striving to grow. And I'd been out for, you know, about 3 years at this time, and I was settling, you know, I was just doing the day-to-day, you know, like, you know, the marriage had fallen apart at that time. You know, just, I wasn't happy at work. I just, you know, I had just fallen in the rut, and I just was seeing like too many people in life settle for an average life, you know. And I mean, to live an average life, it's like an insult to God, because He's given us so many things that we can do, so many abilities, you know, what the human can actually do. And so I kind of came up with that, and I know that I really like, you know, teaching shooting and tactics and combatives to law enforcement and military and private civilian groups as well. And, you know, when I got out, I was doing sales, and I really like sales and leadership, you know. And what I saw on the outside is there's not a lot of leadership development with bigger companies. They just expect someone to get promoted to a position or hired on that they're going to have this training, and it's not like that. In the military, they train you, you know, they give you leadership training and development and personal development. And I saw that lacking in a lot of companies. So I gave my notice in December and started this up in January. And I've just kind of subcontracted out different companies, guest instructing, for shooting and tactics. Got to work with Denver SWAT. That was awesome. A great group of guys. Worked with them for a week on shooting and tactics. I've done a little bit of advising. Like there's a video game that came out. YouTube video where the guy debunks video games, whether it's realistic or not. So I got to advise on that.
Oh, that's cool.
Did Transformers 5. I've been able to work with Landon with Extreme Concepts and IK9 on, just kind of, they have a huge facility out in Anniston, and so kind of building that up. So it's nice because I have the flexibility to kind of do different things. Team building events for companies where bring a unique blend of the stuff that I learned from the SEAL teams and kind of tweak it into where someone gets a unique, customized team building event. And, it's just a lot of fun.
If folks want to find out more about Never Settle, how can they do that?
They can, Facebook page, Never Settle Consulting LLC. And right now building the website, neversettleconsulting.com. But go to Facebook, like us on Facebook, and I put everything out there.
Perfect. That's JP, the man, the myth, the legend. Thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break for the weekend. What, Jeff? Golly.
Just counting you down, man.
Putting those fingers up in the air with an attitude today. What your problem is.
It's Friday.
All right, we'll see y'all on Monday.
See y'all.